Millions of African men, women, and children were captured, sold, and forced into a brutal journey. Their stolen labor would transform the Americas, enrich European empires, and create one of the most inhumane economic systems in human history. This is the story of the Atlantic Triangular Trade, the system that expanded slavery across the world. The triangular trade wasn't a single route, but a rotating system of ships, goods, and human beings connecting 3 continents. It all started in Europe. Ships laden with guns, cloth, and metal goods sailed to the coasts of Africa. There, these items were traded for enslaved people, many captured through raids, warfare, or kidnapping. This led to the second leg, the horrific Middle Passage. Millions were packed onto slave ships, bound for the Caribbean, Brazil, and North America. Olaudah Equiano, who survived the journey, described the ships as a scene of misery that filled him with horror. For the final leg, ships returned to Europe, their holds now filled with sugar, cotton, tobacco, and rum, all products of enslaved labor. Every side of the triangle generated immense profit. But for the people trapped inside it, it was a one-way ticket to a life of bondage. So, why did this system grow so fast? In a word, profit. In the 1600s and 1700s, European demand for sugar, coffee, and tobacco exploded. Plantation owners in the Americas needed a massive, cheap, and controllable labor force. Enslaved Africans were treated as property, bought, sold, and forced into generations of labor. By the 18th century, slavery was essential to the British, French, and Spanish empires, as well as Portuguese Brazil and the Dutch Caribbean. It was a truly global system. The Middle Passage was the heart of this system and its greatest horror. The journey lasted 6 to 12 weeks. People were chained together, packed tightly into dark, unsanitary holds with little food or water, and subjected to unimaginable violence. Historians estimate that of the nearly 13 million Africans forced onto these ships, 2 million died during the voyage. Once in the Americas, survivors were sold at auctions and forced into brutal labor. In the Caribbean, they worked on sugar plantations under the harshest conditions. Brazil imported the largest number of enslaved Africans for its sugar plantations and mines. In North America, they cultivated tobacco, rice, and later, cotton. This wasn't a side industry. The wealth generated by enslaved labor built the ports, cities, and banks of the Atlantic world. Despite the brutality, enslaved Africans resisted in countless ways, from revolts and sabotage to escaping and preserving their culture. The Haitian Revolution, which began in 1791, became the first successful slave uprising in history, sending shockwaves through slave-holding societies. The system began to unravel in the late 1700s as abolition movements gained strength. Britain banned the slave trade in 1807, followed by the U.S. in 1808. But it took decades more for slavery itself to be abolished, ending in the United States in 1865 and finally in Brazil in 1888. The legacy of the triangular trade is not just history, it is woven into the fabric of our modern world. It shaped economies, nations, and the racial systems that persist today. Understanding this past is essential because it still lives with us. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what piece of history you'd like us to cover next.